I couldn't see him, but I felt like he was there. T was the third of 10 siblings. T must have been 6 or 7 years old when he was born. His family home in Atsuta, Nagoya, where he ran a rice shop, was robbed. I'll never forget that night when the cold winter wind was howling. And T's father was away at the rice market in Osaka. Tokuzou and his siblings, along with his mother and grandmother, were sleeping on the second floor. On the first floor, the live-in clerk and about 10 maids were sleeping. Around 2 a.m., T and his family were woken up by a banging sound on the first floor, followed by screams that must have been from the maids. The grandmother was so startled that she went to the stairs to check, but she shook her head and sat down, saying, "Eat." Right behind her, 3 or 4 robbers came running up the stairs, and the man who seemed to be the leader of the group kicked the old woman away and shouted to my mother, "Where's the key to the storehouse?" My mother desperately protected her eldest daughter, aged 10, her second daughter, aged 8, her eldest son T, her second son, aged 4, her third son, aged 3, and her newborn third daughter, and took them out of the drawer and handed them the key to the storehouse. "Okay, you're being honest, but then it'll be a problem if you talk about it later. Sorry, but you're all going to die." The men looked devilish as they tried to attack my mother and the brothers T and the others. But at that moment, the robbers suddenly backed away, as if they were scared of something. What are you? You were supposed to be dead. No way. Oh, you're scared." The robbers screamed one by one and fled, falling down the stairs with a thud. The robbers' lives were apparently spared, but they were all found lying on the ground, with serious injuries and bruises all over their bodies, and were taken away by the police who had been called by the store manager. The detective was puzzled as to why grown men had been pushed down the stairs by women and children. When he asked his grandmother and mother, they just shook their heads and said, "I don't know." However, the eldest daughter, second daughter, and eldest son, T, all said something incomprehensible. I couldn't see him, but I thought I saw my father. In fact, the murdered body of T's father had been found at the harbor that afternoon. As you might have guessed, it was the same group of robbers who killed T's father and drowned him in the harbor. The time was during the Great Depression, so it must have been around 1929. The storm of recession was sweeping across the world. Large companies were going bankrupt, one after another, and the streets were filled with unemployed people. This was around the time when Japan began to slowly decline. During such times, unbelievable, unreasonable, and tragic incidents occurred, one after another. It wouldn't have been surprising if we had all been massacred. How did we survive? I still can't believe it, T recalls.